Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I got another banger for y'all. We're going to be covering part 3 of the new series I started of the craziest date stories we got. Today is going to be another banger, and I mean like one of the best stories I got. Season 1 of this new series is going hard, and this is no exception. Alright, let me paint the scene for y'all. I was about 25 by this point, so it was a little bit after the second story. It was a little bit after the second story, around the same time as the first story. And like I said, I was doing nothing but training, looked in incredible shape, and working. And so I had a lot of downtime to basically do whatever I wanted. And because I wasn't prioritizing my money, I wasn't prioritizing the bag quite yet. I was prioritizing training a lot, but again, you can't train 24 hours a day, so there is a window of you recovering to have fun. And boy, did I use this window. And by this point, I no longer had an apartment on the Bay. I had an apartment in one of the nicest cities in Houston. And like I said, dude, I looked killer, so Tinder was popping, yo. Like, it was fucking popping, dude. Girls left and right DMing, trying to see what's up. And this particular match I had was with a girl that I would say, objectively speaking, looks-wise, she was a 6. Had potential to be a 6.5, but I would give her a 6. So far in the series, she is the prettiest girl in the series. She would not be the prettiest girl of the craziest stories I got, but you're gonna have to stay tuned for those episodes. So she was a 6. If a 5 is bone stock average, 6 is cute. Significantly above average, but not model status. Not an 8 that's model status. Not a 7 that's pre-model status, but a 6, cute. You see her walking down the street, most guys are going to turn around and look at her. And, you know, most people, again, I always have to repeat this, most people rate their girlfriends a fucking 10. She ain't no 10, buddy. Anyways, back to the story. I see her on the app, I swipe right, instant match, and I give it a minute. I always like to give it a minute. I don't like to really message as soon as we match. It reeks of desperation, and by this point, I was in my journey of building a rotation. A rotation that would be like 5 or 6 deep at one point in time. Anyways, the girl messages me. She's talking about how cute I look and whatnot. And you already know I'm trying to set up that date. And like I said, if a girl isn't a 7 or up, almost all of the dates I focus are on bringing them back to the crib, so I can make them a drink or watch movies, Netflix and chill, that kind of deal. And this was no exception. I invite the girl over to my crib, and originally she gave me some resistance. She was like, oh, I don't really do that on a date, I don't really know you like that. And again, I pulled up that fucking that ace up my sleeve, and I'm like, you know what, you're right. What if you're weird? What if you're like a serial killer or something? Let's not do that. You know, I don't really just bring anyone into my apartment. And you're right, I don't really know you like that. And again, usually that will flip a script on some girls, and you know, it really does kind of push them to want to qualify. I know that a bunch of dating gurus feed you a bunch of nonsense, but some of this shit really does work, ladies and gentlemen. I won't even fucking lie. Because the girl suddenly began to qualify. She began to be like, what, do you really think I'm a serial killer? Do you really think I'm fucking not like good enough? Like, she really began to ask certain questions in the chat. Obviously not being blunt about it, but you could tell that like that sort of nicked the spot on her. Because she went from thinking, oh, this dude just wants to fuck, to, damn, this guy's like taking back the invite he originally gave me. And so I did have to put some game on text. And gaming through text is hard, man. I always encourage y'all gaming through FaceTime or through calls, because gaming through text could be a hit or miss. So I hit her up on a FaceTime, and we're chatting, and the girl now sees that, yes, I really do look the way I look on the pictures, I'm not a fucking catfish like the last video. And I could spit game. I mean, fuck, dude. I ain't even gonna lie. I could spit game, bro. I could spit game talking a lot better than I can just texting. Because I fucking take forever to text back anyways. And we start vibing with the girl. And, you know, I always say when the conversation's flowing really well, that's when it's time to go. So the girl was just laughing, getting into it, fucking complimenting and this or that. And I'm like, you know what? I actually gotta run. I gotta do something. And I don't bullshit, I really do gotta do something. Either I had to do another girl in the rotation, or I had to work, or I had to train. I really did have to do something. I always encourage you all to never really lie about how busy you are. Actually be that busy. Anyways, the girl's like, oh, you really have to go? I'm like, yeah, I gotta go, shorty, I gotta go. So I, shorty, anyways, I hang up the phone, and, you know, the girl and I eventually set up a date for the following week, and then, you know, fast forward to that following week, she actually cancels on that date. And I have a firm fucking like rule set, like if a girl cancels on a date, I am not going to go out of my way to reschedule. Given that she canceled within 48 hours, she gave me a good heads up. I didn't insta block her, but if a girl cancels the same day, that's an insta block. That's goodbye. Have a good day. Goodbye, Felicia. Because that's just mad disrespectful, dog. That is just mad disrespectful. But this girl did give me a heads up, and her excuse was that she was on her period. And I'm like, you know what? I don't really care if you're on your period. Scoot by the crib anyways. You know? Because, you know, I'm always thinking you could wrap up your fucking anaconda. You could wrap it up. Like, who gives a fuck? But anyways, the girl didn't feel comfortable, especially given that she did eventually agree to go back to my crib as the first date. And so she didn't really want to give a bad impression on the first date. And boy, did I should have fucking listened, man. But I kept insisting, hey, nah, just come over, whatever. She didn't agree, but she did agree to come a little bit earlier than expected. Because when she offered dates for the reschedule, the date was like basically another week. Waiting another week of texting. And I honestly don't text back and forth with a girl for a whole week. If we don't set up the date within 5 days, I usually just leave that either completely blocked or on the hands of the girl. I'm not going to be texting back and forth randoms that I'm not even, you know, messing with. The girl wanted to reschedule for a week, but I managed to get her to agree to 4 days. 4 days later. And the reason was because she randomly texted me 4 days later, hey, you know what? I think I'm pretty much done with my period. Let me make it up to you. Let me come over to the crib. And by this point, the texts were getting heavy. If a girl is telling you that she doesn't want to come over because she's on her period, she's basically telling you that you're gonna fuck. Like, that's just how things are. And the texts had gotten really spicy up to that point. I already knew I was gonna lay down the pipe. But this girl, right, I gamed her really fucking hard. I mean, I wish I could fucking put up texts, but I don't want to do them dirty like that. And again, this is a fictitious story, not to offend anyone. If anyone is actually fucking, you know, offended by this story that was part of this story, feel free to reach out. Anyways, I gamed her so hard that I told her, like, as soon as I see you, I just want to kiss you. And the reason why I do that is because if you kiss a girl, like, instantly after fucking meeting her, dude, like, the build up to the kiss won't be dragged on. Like, you just want to get that out of the way so fast. I'll have fucking crazy stories where I dragged ass to get the first kiss, and as a result, everything dragged ass. You just want to get that kiss out of the way, especially if you're already texting dirty talk, dog. A kiss means nothing compared to the shit we were texting, dog. Anyways, so we scheduled a date 4 days later after she was, you know, allegedly getting over her period. She tells me she's outside, and you already know the feelings you get when the girl already pulled up. You're like, ooh, boys, I'm about to go to town, boy. So I get out, I greet her, and like I said, I immediately go in for the kiss. And since I had primed that girl to already know that I was gonna go for that kiss, she was receptive and she wasn't caught off guard. That's why you kind of text her, like, you let them know that I'm going to be kissing you as soon as I see you. Like, it's gonna happen. So that way, when it does happen, they're not, you know, too flustered from it. So I ended up kissing her, and we're basically making out in the middle of the night, right outside my apartment. Before I tell her, hey, let's go back inside. It's hot as fuck out here. I believe it was summer during the time. Anyways, I take her upstairs. I pulled the game. Hey, my living room TV doesn't work. The only TV I really got that works is in the bedroom. Like, come on by. And she's like, oh, okay, no problem. So she's basically laying in my bed. The TV's to the left of us. I'm behind her. She's in front of me. So we're kind of spooning and shit. And she just turns around at some point, and this is early into the date. This is well before 30 minutes. Like, as soon as she walked in, we laid down, we got comfortable, and I would probably say within 10 minutes, she turns around, because I'm spooning, and I believe she's feeling the ballistic missile on her butt by this point. And she turns around and gives me like the dirtiest look, dog. I'm like, oh, it's on, baby. So I lean over to kiss her, and we start making out. It's getting hot and heavy. And I get down to the fun stuff, and I almost always encourage and do myself the act of protecting yourself to wrap up your willy if you're gonna be engaging in fucking activities that you're going to be engaging in. And I'm not even gonna lie, this girl was thick. She wasn't fat, but she was thick. She had voluptuous big old titties, so. Dog, I ain't even gonna lie. The blood in my brain was gone. It was all down there to fucking operate the fucking anaconda. So, like, I have no mental clarity by this point of what I should be doing. And I asked the girl, like, should I wrap it up? Like, I'm dead ass honest, because I open up the nightstand. There's my magnums, and I'm like, should I wrap it up? And the girl just looks at me and gives me another dirty fucking look. Without saying no, she was saying no, dude. So I encourage y'all not to do what I did, but I said, fuck it. I'ma just get down and dirty raw. And it's fucked, man. It is fucked, because you never know what you could or couldn't catch. But anyways, I give her the best 10 minutes of her life, dog. Normally I like to aim for that 15-minute mark, but damn, this girl just had it going on, so it made it to 10. Hopefully it made it to 10. By the time we're done, we're just laying naked watching TV and shit. And dude, not even 30 minutes goes by and I'm ready for round 2, dog. I'm already hot and bothered, ready for round 2, having this girl laying next to me. So I start initiating round 2. And we go at it again. But this time, when I was done, and I looked down at my fucking anaconda, my anaconda just looked like it went through Viet Cong in Vietnam. It was absolutely covered in blood. And I mean absolutely drenched in blood, sweat, cum, you fucking name it, dude. So I'm in disbelief about what just happened, and this is something for the audience to know. If you're well endowed, you could absolutely start periods. So you gotta be really careful with with what you do, because this isn't the first time this would eventually happen in my life. You really can't start periods early, or you could, Anyways. I'm not gonna go into graphic detail about how fucking disgusted I felt, but I felt like that scene in Carrie. If you ever watched Carrie when they dumped the pig blood, like, holy fuck. And mind you, the girl could be a fucking 10, and if I was still covered in blood, I would still be grossed out. Like, I will always be grossed out, dog. That's fucking nasty. You bled all over me. That's fucking nasty, dude. So I get up and I immediately go to take a shower. I'm fucking disgusted, dog. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm like, fuck, dude. The girl eventually goes in and takes a shower after me, and we're just laying in bed awkwardly, because by this point, dude, I was like so done, dog. I was so done. She says, hey, do you want to get food, to like break the silence that was emitting in the room, because it was fucking dead silent, bro. Dead silent from fucking Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, dog. So I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go to Whataburger, and we start actually talking for once, other than, what we were doing, and the girl, you know, she has a cool story and whatnot, but I just still couldn't get over the fucking Carrie scene that I just went through, and this fucking girl already knows that I'm bothered by it, and that's why she was like, damn, that's why I warned you to not do it so soon. Like, we should have waited a little bit longer. I'm like, damn, I just didn't know you'd be bleeding all over me. I made too big of a deal where she was now starting to physically get upset. Like, you could see her expression. She was no longer like embarrassed. She was almost annoyed by my reaction. And I mean, fuck it. If I'm overreacting for getting drenched in blood, then fuck it. I'm overreacting. But I'm sorry, dog. I didn't bleed on you, so you don't know what it's like. That shit's fucking nasty, dude. Like I said, fucking Sydney Sweeney could have bled all over me, and I would still be grossed the fuck out, and I would still be making the remarks I made. Anyways, we head back to the crib, and I have no plan to initiate a third time. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta wake up early. Let's go to sleep. And we start sleeping, and holy fuck, this girl has sleep apnea or something, cause she snores like a motherfucking train in the middle of the night, just fucking blaring by, dog. Like, holy motherfucker, dude. I could not catch an ounce of Z's that night. And I waited, dog. I did everything possible. It got so bad that it was 3 in the fucking morning, and I knew I had to train the next day. I knew I had to spar, and I knew I had to be on my fucking 11 toes to do well. Because I'm going against pro fighters, I'm going against amateurs, I'm going against all kinds of fighters, man. My weight class above, I can't be going in there sleep deprived. I'm just not going to react as well as I normally do. And, dude, I wake this girl up. I'm like, you gotta go, darling. You gotta fucking go. I gotta wake up early and you're snoring way too loud. I'm sorry, you gotta go. And the girl agrees to leave, but you could tell by this point she's pissed the fuck off that I made a big deal about her bleeding on me, and she's pissed the fuck off that I woke her up at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night when we went to sleep probably around midnight. And I send her home, and she lives like 30-40 minutes away. I made her drive to me type shit. And so I take her to her car. I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry about that, but I gotta sleep. You gotta go. And we hug goodbye. We don't even kiss goodbye. And the girl leaves, and I just go home, and I just knock out, dude. I pass out. I sleep like a baby. You know, I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that this girl and I we would never see each other again. I mean, fuck, that shit turned into a one-night stand, because the girl, I didn't block her or anything, but I didn't reach out neither. I wanted to see if she would reach out, and sure enough, she never fucking reached out, dog. Even up to date, she never did reach out. So, ladies and gentlemen, the moral of the story: if a girl tells you she's on her period, wait fucking 2 weeks before you go into that fucking jungle, bro. Trust me, dude. Trust me. You do not want to look like Carrie, bro. I'm telling you, that shit was fucking nasty, dude. On top of that, I always encourage to wrap up your anaconda, dog. No girl, no matter how big her ballistic missiles are, is worth getting burned or worse, getting covered in blood. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have been your host with the most. Many videos to come. Again, some of them are going to be a little bit more graphic than others. But, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you enjoyed the content. Who else is bringing you crazy dating stories? I'll see you all next time.